What's going on YouTube? This is Ultimate Device Vids, and this is Tweak Recap. And in this episode, as always, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 of the best city tweaks that are compatible with the latest version of iOS that is capable of running a jailbreak. In this case, it's iOS 8.1.2, and let's get right into it. And the first tweak I'm going to be showing you guys is called Confero. It's available in Cydia for $1.50. And what this tweak allows you to do is view all the applications on your device that have a badge notification in one location. So normally in iOS, you have to swipe through all your pages, perhaps even open up folders to do this, but with this tweak, you have one single view that shows all these applications. And you may have saw I triple pressed the home button to get to that, but you could also tap the actual icon in the status bar up here, as you could see. However, in my experience, sometimes I miss it, so I do recommend that you use an activator gesture. And of course, you can go into settings on your device and configure various things. So if we scroll down until we see Confero, we could go in there. And of course, you have the ability to enable or disable the tweak, and you could go into configuration. And again, there's various things in here. Here's the light mode theme, and that's actually what I have on right now, the light mode. If you disable this, it'll become a little bit darker, as you can see right there. And again, there's a few other things you could configure. Something else you could do is actually turn it into an app switcher, which is kind of interesting. So basically, you could have it completely replace the app switcher when you double press your home button. So for example, if I enabled the switcher option here, what would happen would be, as you can see when I double press the home button, as you can see right there, these applications that are in my app switcher show up. So it basically just completely replaces the app switcher, as you can see right here. And that's not the most practical thing if you ask me, because of course, it's kind of towards the top of the screen, and generally your fingers are at the bottom, so you'd have to reach all the way to the top to access this. So again, it's something you could play with, but not something I recommend. And to set your activator gesture to enable or to bring up this tweak, you just select activator gesture, then you have activator here. Again, I used a triple press of the home button. Once again, this tweak is called Confero. It's available in Cydia for $1.50. And next up is SubtleLock. This one's available in Cydia for $1, and it allows you to make your lock screen a little bit sleeker. So basically, as you can see right here, it's just a little sleeker the way it's laid out. And I actually have the dual clock mode enabled right now, which is actually my favorite feature of this tweak. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but as you can see right here, I have 2 clocks, so you could set for different locations, which is pretty nice. So in addition to providing the ability to make your lock screen look more sleeker, it also provides some really good options like the dual clock. But as you can see, compared to a normal lock screen, it definitely looks a lot better. You can make things smaller, just kind of out of the way. As you can see, the slide to unlock's a little bit lower. And again, there's other modes that I'm going to show you with this tweak as well. So I'm just going to show you those modes. So let's go into our settings app here, and you just want to find the SubtleLock settings panel and go in there. And of course, we have these sections here. I'm just going to go into clock settings right now. Before I do that, I just want to show you this is the enable switch. And by the way, after you make any changes, you should respring your device using this button up here. It's not required, and some changes don't require it, but just to ensure that all the changes are enabled, you should respring your device. Going into clock settings here, here's the style. As you can see, I have it on dual clock, as I mentioned earlier. So now I'm going to show you default. So I'm just going to select that, go back, and then we'll respring my device right here. As you can see, this is pretty much the default lock that you normally find. However, the slide to unlock text is just slightly lower. That's what differentiates it from the normal lock screen. And okay, I'm back in the settings. Let's just go to style, and now we'll change it to subtle. Let's go back and just respring again. Okay. And this is the traditional subtle lock that I think when a lot of people picture this tweak, this is what they picture. So the lower slide to unlock, and just the time over to the left, the date to the right, it just looks really nice. Just again, a very subtle look to the lock screen. Again, I'll compare it to the normal lock screen here. As you can see, again, it's just pretty nice, pretty sleek. Just kind of spaces things out a little bit differently. Something, if you're looking for a change, you should definitely try this. And lastly, I just want to show you none, and this is kind of weird. It just completely removes the lock screen in its entirety. So again, I just want to show you what this is. And here it is, just a completely blank lock screen. All you get is the slide to unlock at the bottom, as you can see, just a little bit lower than it normally is. And other than that, there's just nothing here. So again, that's none. And inside clock settings, you could actually readjust the font size, as you can see right here, of the clock. And slider settings, you could, as you can see right here, you could adjust the position of the slider up here. You could also reset it back to default. So if I had it somewhere else, I could select reset, and it'll go back to the default position. You could also hide the slider in its entirety, put in some custom text, and then in miscellaneous, there's just some miscellaneous options. So you could do things like hiding, things, for example, notification center grabber, camera grabber, just some miscellaneous things. And then we have contact. This allows you to contact the developer on Twitter. You could get support, give some feedback, and of course donate as well. And again, that's pretty much all for this tweak. Once again, it's called SubtleLock. You can play around with the settings. It's very nice. It allows you to have some practicality features as well as just, kind of make things look a little bit simpler. And something else I want to show you just before I wrap up this discussion about this tweak is if you go into clock settings and you have dual clock enabled, basically if you go back out here, as you can see, you could actually choose your second time zone right here. So you just go into time zones and you could check it just like this, then it will take an effect after your respring. Again, the first time zone is whatever your time zone is set in iOS, but the second one you could set right here. Just wanted to let you know about that. Once again, it's called SubtleLock. It's available in Cydia for $1. And the next tweak I'm going to be showing you guys is called Polis. It's available in Cydia for 99 cents. This tweak allows you to customize what shows up in Control Center. So as you can see right here at the bottom, I have some shortcuts that aren't usually there. And at the top here, you could also customize some things as well. So basically, again, the toggles and the app shortcuts at the bottom, you could customize both of these and change up what is there. So as you can see at the bottom right here, I have Cydia, the App Store, FaceTime, Messages, some other applications too. And of course, these aren't usually there. Normally, it's just a few applications. And by default, I believe it's the calculator, the timer, the camera, and the flashlight. As you can see right here, yeah, there you go. So once again, calculator, camera, timer, and flashlight. But again, you could control that, change it up using Polis. Also, as you saw earlier, I actually was scrolling between pages, so you could have, again, various pages of toggles and shortcuts. By default in iOS, as you can see, this isn't possible on either, again, the shortcuts or the toggles. So that's something else that you could gain with Polis. And to set it up, you want to go into settings on your device after you've installed the tweak. Just scroll down until you see Polis, go in there. And here we have these options. What you want to do is go into configuration, and you have the bottom shelf and the top shelf. So the bottom shelf down here is, of course, these quick launch toggles, and the top shelf is the toggles. And of course, the quick launch are, again, just basically give you the ability to open up applications quickly. So here I am in bottom shelf. And something else you could do with this tweak is, of course, you could just add your apps by selecting plus, and you could check off certain apps, for example, calendar. Then it's going to show up, as you can see right there. But something else you could do is you could actually add toggles to the quick launch down here, and you could add a quick launch to the toggles. So you can kind of switch up the functionality, kind of use the functionality interchangeably. So if I could select plus, then I could select toggles at the top here, and I could actually add a toggle to my quick launch. I have airplane mode checked right now, and as you can see, there it is right there. And by the way, if you want to have something visible, you want to make sure it's under visible buttons and hidden buttons down here. You could drag them in and out like this. As you can see, I could drag one into visible and out of visible just like this. And again, by the way, I have airplane mode enabled. So as you can see, I have a toggle down here that will enable airplane mode. Even though it's my quick launch, as you can see, it functions as a toggle. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of switch up the functionality if you know what I mean. And going to top shelf over here, of course, we have all of our toggles that we could customize. And again, we could drag these in and out of hidden. And something else, again, you could do with this is you could add shortcuts to the toggles. So I have the App Store, as you can see right there. And again, I just selected plus. Then you go over to apps over here and select App Store. And then you could have the App Store as a toggle. And of course, you could play around with all this on your own, get it exactly the way you want it. But that's pretty much the concept of the tweak. It allows you to change up the functionality of Control Center. You could move stuff around, move stuff from the bottom to the top, and also just add new shortcuts. For example, Cydia App Store, any application on your device, music, whatever you want to do, Safari. And up here, you could change the toggles around, rearrange them, add new toggles, everything like that. So basically just complete control over your Control Center. I really do like this tweak. It looks really nice and it functions very nice as well. It's called Polis. You could get it in Cydia for 99 cents. And the next tweak I'm going to be showing you guys is called Alkaline. It's available in Cydia for free. And what it allows you to do is change your battery indicator up in the upper right hand corner. As you can see right here, I have a different battery indicator. This one has bars, and some of the bars could be filled in halfway, so it's a lot more precise than the normal one. There's tons and tons of battery icons that you can download from Cydia, and it also comes with 3 preloaded. After you install it, you just go into settings on your device, and you can scroll down until you see Alkaline, go in there. Of course, at the top, you have the ability to enable or disable the tweak, and then we have theme. And if we go in here, we have 3 to choose from. Once again, we have this one, Habish, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Then we have spots, and that's actually similar to the carrier logo that's found, or not really the carrier logo, just kind of the signal bars that are found, as you can see right here in default iOS. But again, you could get that with your battery right now. And you also have Bolus, and this is just kind of like a redesigned battery indicator. And again, once you select the one that you want, you just have to go back. So let's just change it to something like spots. You go back, then you select respring, and it will apply the changes. And before I respring, I just want to let you guys know under pledge right here, this is actually some really nice information about neuroblastoma cancer. And it talks about some things that you probably want to know about this, just, you know, why it's underfunded, things like that. It also has some organizations down here that you could donate to, check out. So definitely go in here. It's definitely a good cause, and you should look at this. And let's just go back here, and we're going to select respring now to apply the new battery icon. And as you can see right here, it has taken in effect. And some of the circles can be halfway folded just for absolute precise or precision. So that's pretty good. Again, you could download tons from Cydia. There's, again, tons and tons of logos that people create, you know, other people create other than the developer of this tweak for Alkaline. This one's available in Cydia for free. Once again, it's called Alkaline. And the next tweak I'm going to be showing you guys is called Searchlight. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. And what it allows you to do is have your favorite applications right in Spotlight Search as soon as you pull it down, just like this. So as you can see, I didn't even type anything, and I have these favorite applications. And you could configure what apps show up here, and you could just select these applications, and it launches the app just like that. And of course, this doesn't interfere with the way that Spotlight Search works. As you can see, I can normally just start typing, and they go away, and I can use Spotlight Search the way that I always am able to do. It's just for that split second when you pull down Spotlight Search and nothing's there, you could have the ability to launch your favorite apps without even typing anything. If you go into settings on your device, this is of course where you could configure the tweak. Just scroll down until you see Searchlight and go in there. And in here, of course, we have activation methods. This is actually something that I didn't talk about yet. What it allows you to do is assign an activator action to have Spotlight Search anywhere, not just on the home screen, anywhere. So that's an additional function with this tweak. You could use it in the way that you could enable Spotlight Search anywhere. But what I was talking about earlier is your favorites, which are right here. So you could just select favorites and make sure that's enabled. Of course, the toggle, and you could select the plus button up here, scroll through all the apps on your device, and enable the applications. So for example, podcasts, let's say, and then notes. I could enable those two, and then they're right here, as you could see. If I wanted to get rid of them, I just select plus, and I just turn the toggle off like that, go back, and then it'll be gone. And of course, you could rearrange them using these little grabbers, just like that. And after you've made all your changes, you will need to go back and select save/refresh. And no respring will happen. You just have to select that, then go back into your Spotlight. And as you can see right here, all the changes have taken in effect, just like that. And of course, we could launch our new apps using Searchlight. I really do like this tweak. It's a really good idea. It just makes sense. It doesn't hurt your device to have there. It's not like you're losing speed or anything. Again, you could just start typing and it'll go away. And there's various other things you could do. As you can see, you can have it configured so your recent applications will show. So basically the applications that are in your app switcher will just show there. And if we just go ahead and enable this really quick, we can select the number of our applications that are there. And of course, we could choose the header name as well. I'll just call it test. And now we'll just go back out here. For the favorites section in here, you also have the ability to rename it right here. So we could type this. We could have this be something else like E. I'll just put in a random character there. And let's just go ahead and save and refresh, and I'll show you those changes. As you can see, we have our new headers, test and E. And again, our favorites are down here, and our recently used apps are at the top there. And again, as you can see, these are our 3 recently used applications, which were Safari, Notes, and Settings. So let's just go back into our settings here. There's various other things you could do in here, but that's the primary function of this tweak. I really do like it. Again, it's just a practical tweak. It's called Searchlight. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. And actually, just one more thing about this tweak. As I mentioned earlier, you could use an activator gesture to actually access Spotlight anywhere, not just on the home screen. By default, Spotlight Search is only accessible on the home screen, but with this tweak, you could access it anywhere. So if you go into activation methods, you could assign an activator gesture. I have one set for a triple press of the home button, as you can see. And if I perform this, as you can see, I have Spotlight Search right here inside my settings app. And of course, I have access to our favorites and our recents. We could open up apps right from here. And let's just go back into Spotlight here. However, the keyboard doesn't immediately pop up. You have to actually select up here if you want to use Spotlight Search for its normal functionality. As you can see, you can use it for its normal functionality, which is great. We could search apps, open them just like this, which is really nice. Again, using this Spotlight Search that is not on the home screen. However, If we just exit out here, again, swipe down, as you can see, the keyboard immediately pops up by default, but again, with the in-app spotlight, it doesn't. But I just wanted to let you know that's how you use that portion of this tweak. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.